So here's the ridiculousness that's the sky today. A few sparse clouds, and then total coverage. White haze everywhere. Sun halo's been popping up. And this is clockwork, people. When you see you're getting a cold front, you'll notice, like the day before the weather even changes. Right now it's still 82 or whatever, where it's been 82 the past, how many weeks, with the temperature fluctuating 1 degree or 2 degrees at the most. And you'll notice when they hear a cold front coming, the day before or so is blasted out, and they're trying to piggyback on it. The conditions haven't changed. The humidity, the temperature have not changed yet. It's supposed to go down at night to, I think, in the 50s, where it's probably been about, the low 70s or something like that. So before it happens, before any changes, they're blasting it out. Seems to be similar in most places. So if you see a cold front coming, prepare to get blasted. Not once it happens. Once it happens, that's understandable to say, oh, maybe the conditions are better in the sky for contrails. But this is before the change occurs. So they're forcing it. They're exaggerating it. That's why some of these snowstorms, I'm down in Florida, but these snowstorms start small and they get really intensified. You can see this should be a clear blue day with a few clouds, perfect day. But all the white out there, that's all fake. Everything above me is all fake aside from the puffy clouds. Oh, we got a nice sun halo. What am I talking about? Look at that, boy. You get the fake sun halo. That's not ice crystals. Contrails have been appearing every, couple days. Meanwhile, the conditions have been exactly the same. So, very inconsistent. But take notice. You'll see them blasted out when the day before these cold fronts appear. Not hard. So here we are about 30-45 minutes later. Still got the, puffy cloud. You can see there's a few out in the distance out here. Let's see. And that is all that should be there. So now the whole sky is white. And you can see there's literally horizontal streams in the sky from all of the stuff they sprayed. And they're trying to piggyback on this cold front. These stripes here, they're not moving. So like I said, once you see this stuff sprayed, it doesn't move. You can see this cloud is moving away from these two stripes. And there's different altitudes and elevations, but nothing should make the cloud stay in place. Coincidentally, that's always the stuff that's released out of an airplane. So there's no reason for it to stay in place like that unless there's some sort of frequency holding it in place. So now the whole sky is white. You can see how heavy it is. Wow, boy. That's all from the airplanes. Whole sky is covered. They changed. So you can see this here is a regular cloud. I see some vertical mess. I mean a horizontal mess way out there. And the whole day's changed. Also, they can piggyback on this cold front. And it's blatant, obvious. I'm sure they're supposed to get a big snowstorm up north. They were probably spraying all the day or so before that. Before the weather changes. So there's no reason for this stuff to appear before the weather changes. You could see it, say it, logical for it to appear when the weather changes, but not before it That just shows they're manipulating the front coming in. It's ridiculous. So here's the sky now. The end of the day, about 6 o'clock. Total BS. This is all fake. You can see right here, this is a cloud. Everything else is all fake. Look at that. And I just took a ride, and you could see they frantically spraying, frantic before this cold front. And there was one hole in the sky, and boom, boom, 3 lines all of a sudden attacked that one hole in the sky. So they can definitely tell where this stuff is. You know, if it's got aluminum in it, which it likely does, they can read that from a satellite. There's a plane way up there flying through this cloud. Look like no trail. So you could see only certain planes do it. Doesn't matter the elevation. Doesn't matter if they're flying already through chemtrails and contrails. If they're flying through persistent contrails, then they should be leaving a trail. You shouldn't have planes flying through persistent contrails with no trail. So you can see the lines and the ripples, and this is all being processed right now. All being processed. And we can see this is a cloud in the dead center. Those are clouds down the bottom. Everything in between is fake, fraudulent bullshit. So, total military operation. Either they're trying to heat the planet, or it's just a military dome, but this is bullshit. None of it's moving. None of it's being shaped. None of it's morphing. So these idiots like Mick West and every other denier, you could see, look at the lines running right through this shit. All these idiots are frauds that come out and deny this shit. You know, this is an illusion. This is made just well enough to make you think it's real. And nobody looks up. This motherfucker's sneaking right up on me. Look at this shit. So, total ridiculous. If people take their heads out of their iPhones, they may see what's going on. You know, of course these real clouds are moving. But none of this other stuff is moving 1 inch. It's frozen in place. Frozen in place. Totally disgusting. You see the lines running right through this thing. Disgusting. So they frantically spray now before these cold fronts, and it's like they're putting putting tape over a pipe leak, where it may hold it for a little bit, but ultimately it's just gonna pull up a bunch of water and make your situation worse. So whatever they're doing ain't helping nothing. You can't cocoon a planet and expect it not to get warmer. Especially with a heat source coming from inside the planet. If there's no heat source inside the planet, then it may be logical to put a reflection screen up there. But you got molten lava coming out of the planet, so there's a heat source. People want to debate whether the core is molten or which part of the inside. Doesn't matter. There's a heat source inside the Earth putting out heat that needs to escape through the planet and vent out. So this stuff, even though the clouds, there's little spaces in between the clouds, there's still filth up there. That's still one layer. It's just cut up a little bit to make people think it's clouds. It's still one layer. Totally ridiculous.